Hey everybody, how we doing today? So today we are going to take the Solo Skiff on the water, getting from home to the water. So I'm going to be going through the steps. Remember, this is actually my first time I'm going to be attempting this, but the whole time I'm doing this, I'm thinking through the process of the hassle factor, how to make it more efficient, and so on and so on. A lot of it is pretty much just going to be similar to what I do with my standard kayak, so we're gonna keep that in mind. But then there's some extra steps because I'm going to be utilizing that new trailer, the stand where the location of the Solo Skiff is at, and where I need to move the car to get the trailer on, to get the Solo Skiff on, and so forth. So that's what we'll be working on today, and then hopefully get this guy on the water. All right, so step one, before I do anything, even putting my kayak on the top, because then it limits my ability to open up the hatch all the way, is I'm going to get the stuff that I need inside the car. I've got my life jackets, I got my seat. I'm actually probably going to use that throw cushion for my seat because it'll fit perfectly on the seat there. I need to get the outboard, I need to get gas. I'll probably take my anchor just in case I want to stop somewhere and do some stuff. I need my paddle slash push pole. Like I said, gas, said the engine, the outboard. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I'll need my safety gear. I keep that in my bucket over there. So my signal stuff and the stuff, legal stuff that you need, whistle and all that crap. So I'll get that. And then I've got water. We're not going to do any fishing. This is just strictly getting from home to the water, going to the boat launch, loading it off, getting the Solo Skiff in the water, do a little bit of test driving, check the motor. I want to do some on the water figuring out stuff, see how it fits, see how my paddle slash push pole works, where I'm going to kind of leave it. Do I need to have a mount for it? Where I'm going to be putting my rod holders, both for just holding rods. I'm going to probably just do a vertical setup just like my kayak. I'm going to try to set this up like my kayak because I have it like I want it. 2 rocket rod holders towards the up front, just for trolling, but also when I'm standing I have them straight up and then I could grab whichever one I need. Same when I'm on anchor and I'm looking for bonefish, whatever, I can put one rod out with a line out and then have the other one ready to cast out if I need to. I want to look at the tiller handle to see if I need a tiller extension. That's the twist throttle for the outboard. You can get an extension to make it longer when you're sitting away from it. Issues like that. Will I use a gas tank here, or will I just bring my separate gas tank to pour it in? I want to take a look at how much water enters that live well slash cooler slash front storage box, since it has that through hole through it, and just stuff like that, as well as procedural wise for unloading this from the trailer, which wheels to use, and so on and so on. So a ton of stuff. But anyways, let's get started here. All right, so I got the core things that we need just for this test run. Definitely half of what I would normally take for fishing because I don't have my poles and my tackle and all that stuff. But this is probably what we'll need today. That outboard is definitely heavier than my little 2.5, probably over twice as much. But I can load it easy enough, carry it around easy enough, so it's not that big of a deal. But I was thinking that I might actually front passenger seat load it standing up. That might actually be easier, but that's something that we'll take a look at later because it is kind of a pain in the butt loading the head in first. Otherwise I might do prop first, and that might be easier to shove it in. But that's another thing that we're gonna have to work on, is the efficiency of loading this stuff up when I have my different tackle gear for whichever type of fishing I'm going to do, including, like, well, I don't need the live well when I run this thing, so I guess that's a good fix. All right, so that's step one. We got it loaded, so shut that. Next, I'm gonna have to move the car all the way up to the road there so I'll have the ability to back out the trailer. So I'm gonna be hooking up the trailer next. So I'll move the car there, back the trailer up here, mount the trailer to the car, and then we could work on the Solo Skiff. All right, car is in place. Now we just got to back the trailer up and then drop it on the ball. All right, so I got to move these chocks out of the way. Efficiency wise, probably don't need to have both wheels blocked. I need to take off my covers. There, that one. And then I should, because these are just going to fall down, I should drill the holes and mount them if this is going to work, so I don't lose them and they'll stay in the right place. And push it back, ooh, and then lift up, ooh, and turn it straight as possible to make it easier to put that on. And there we go. Need the key for the lock. This down. There it goes. There we go. Now we're good. That bottoms out. Got. Okay, that's good. Safety chains on, quick and easy. Hook up our lights. Ooh, okay, I didn't bury it. Let's say that's going to be a problem. Got to make sure I get this out first. Okay, got lights. Alright, that part's done. Next part, load up the Solo Skiff. Alright, for the Solo Skiff, I'll have a find better spot for the wheels. Generally, I'll have them in my patio. This one can go in. This one has to wait till it clears this corner before I could put it on. There is actually a right and a right side and left side, so I need to mark those so that I can just grab the right side, grab the left side, not have to figure out. Same thing with my straps. I painted the one strap for the front with some black paint, and then I know which one was the which one's the front, which one's the back. But that gets us there. Okay. And we're ready to go. See, it wants to get on the trailer by itself. Go about that far. Think generally if I'm going to be going any distance, I'm going to put the wheels inside the car because I don't want to lose these. But since we're only going down the street, I can clip those and that'll keep those from backing out. What the hell? centered. Bump. Put our safety line on. Just make sure that we're squared up here. Goes a little bit over. Okay, that's good. Then we'll run our straps. Dark straps go up front. Unpainted one goes in the back. I've got them sized already, so I don't have to keep adjusting it each time. This clips there. On this side. And that clips there. Eye hooks so much better. Just pop them on. Piece of cake. I should do both one side of the clips at the same time so I'm not walking back and forth. That'll save some time. Okay. This will stay shut. And good. All right, that's not going anywhere. And we are locked down. Yeah, that's solid as, it doesn't even move. Forward, backwards, nowhere. All right, got to remember to do something with this. I don't need it to go on the, go with me. That'll probably be a front seat thing. All right, that's it. You're good to go. Do a quick light check. Just hit the emergency flashers. Make sure everything is, oh, I got to turn this off. That's a little bit inconvenient that I have to drop that down to do the handle, but not that big a deal. Emergencies. Blinkety blink, blinkety blink. We're good. All right. I'll do once over, just kind of make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Get changed and go to the boat launch. Nice. One option I can do is that I could leave the, or I could mount the outboard onto the mount there and just have it all ready to go if I wanted to. That's why it was so important to set this trailer up that it came right to the edge here, so I could run the outboard, either running it onto the trailer or taking it off. I could leave the outboard and just be one step ahead of the game. But for this trip, not worrying about it. On most long distance ones where I'm leaving marathon, I'll have the outboard in there, so no worries. All right, let's do this. Went ahead and swapped out the balloon wheels since I'm definitely not going anywhere sandy. I'm just going to be doing the boat launches, so I put on the hard Trax wheels. But I think we're all loaded up, good to go. So let's head on down to the boat launch. All right, first stop is the airport boat launch. The only issue here is there's only one parking spot for a trailer, so we'll have to see if it's open. If it's open, it's great. Yeah, we're there. No one here. Perfect. So I'm just going to slide right in. And that way I could take my time fooling around, checking on stuff. Bam, perfect. All right, so here's the boat launch. Water's up, so that's nice. I won't have to go very far. Yeah, it's going to be easy. So let me get this thing all unloaded. And should I put the motor? I'll try putting the motor on and wheeling it around. So this is a problem. This is my standard dry boxes. I keep my emergency stuff and then my wallet, keys, phone. Usually I like to have it in here because I also keep my GoPro battery, so I like it accessible. Problem with it is it'll slide underneath here and get lost. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. Saw guys making containers that fit these holes very efficiently, so I might do that. Have one that's like first aid and emergency stuff tucked in there that blocks that off, and then I could put stuff here and it won't slide away. Well, it might slide away. All right, we're gonna have to do something about storage. All right, outboard is on. Once I get this down, I could see if it will sit vertical with the wheels on, but let me get it fully unloaded. Alright, we're gonna see if this will still clear. Oh, that's fine. That totally works. All right, we're loaded up with all the accessories. Now it's a matter of getting this guy on the ground and my body dragger, get that ready. Use that to pull it back. Hey, there's fishies. Oh, actually, I want to go backwards. Hard plastic wheels don't give a lot of bounce. Boom. We're floating. Now, I guess I don't want to get that wet since I have to put it on my back. This goes in here. And these go here. Fishies. Oh, that's what we got to be very careful about. Yes, that's not good. These wheels sink, so I got running around and it falls off and I don't know it. It's gone. And then this system is useless. So I'm going to have to put stoppers on there. All right, let me do that. Good thing about this trailer, if I'm crooked, now I'm straight. Light is good. There we go. Looking sweet and sweeter. All right, let's do this. So that's my fix for these things not falling out. Hopefully that'll be enough. I might actually do, yeah, these are kind of flimsy. I might do a hard line. Just make sure that they don't come off and put some stainless steel ends on it, but for a different day, add that to the list. All right, let's push off and do a little paddling first. All right, let's haul aboard here. Ooh, yeah, it's a lot more tippy than my kayak is, but my kayak is twice as wide with the outrigger, but it's not bad. It'll just take a little time to get it used to it. There's generally a big old Goliath grouper down here. Don't see him. All those snappers though. Yeah, I'm definitely falling off this thing at one point or another. Just want to put a little quality time doing what they're doing, just kind of getting out and enjoying it. One of the things I need to do is to figure out the length that I need for this, which is my push-pull slash paddleboard style paddle, which this is okay for here, but when I'm standing on this and push-pulling on the flats is a different story. It might not be long enough, so, but for this is almost not too far off of what I do now with the kayak. Oh, this is going to take a little getting used to. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, it's just a little side to side wobbly, but that's not bad. Ooh, look at that sight vision I have there. I'm up here. I'm not too far off of the bow of a flats boat. Ooh, shoreline scavenging. What is that? I'm looking for another garbage can because I got a big fan, and I need to make a hole in my patio workshop. That's going to be my vent for that patio workshop. Oh, that's a live well. Well, not live well, bait holding tank. Yeah, it's a garbage cans with holes in it. That would actually work perfect. I mainly need it to stick out of the wall so that it keeps the rain from getting in. All right, this is how we're going to do the shoreline running, but this is the issue. There's bait there. Man, I could see so good. These fish are screwed. But the only issue is there's no rudder on this. I guess the outboard is considered the rudder, but on my kayak is that I have my lever on my left hand side bottom, so that allows me, even with this wind, to keep the kayak tracking right along the edge, and I don't even have to do anything regardless of the current or the wind. That rudder keeps me somewhat positioned, and whenever I'm fishing, I'm setting up what the drift is going to be and how I'm going to hit a certain spot. Like if I'm going to hit that area there, with the way the wind is blowing this way, I'd start by the boat and come this way and let the wind push me, and then I could adjust with the rudder. So I'm always doing that. But man, I got visibility for to see, like my bow is starting to turn here. The only way I can adjust that is using this to keep me going that way, but that means I have to make all these adjustments, where the other one, I have my fishing pole in my hand and it's just drifting, and I'm not making any paddle noise, water noise, splashing noise. Thought those were pilchards, are just bigger glass minnows. All right, let's fire this motor up and do a few spins. I'm not going to do too much out here. I want to go to the other boat ramp and just try mainly the get in and out of the water onto the ramp. So let's do that. Now I was thinking about adding a sissy bar to this thing, which I still might do because it's a little bit unstable. All right. See if we can get this thing fired up. Neutral, fuel on. There, choke. Second pull on a cold start, that's not bad. Makes a lot of noise though. A lot of vibrations. Versus my little 2.5, that really affects the stealthiness. I have to figure out where, if I want to put mounts for this to keep it out of the way. Same with the rods. That's not bad there. Well, that is bad. Keep it on this side. Tucked. Like my leg hits it and falls over, but even that's not bad. I wouldn't care. It wedges under there. That's not bad. Then I got to figure out the rod holder side of it, where I want my rod holders, kind of like my other one. And then also the tiller extension to be able to have it out farther. All right, this off the choke. Got to get used to the throttle behind me and to my left, because I'm used to it over here on my right. Nope, can't do that. Idle along here, nice and smooth. Outboard's running good. Peeing okay? Oh, run aground time. Yeah, I got to get the idling way down. It goes way too fast. Everything you got to watch out. Anything slides down there is gone. Man, I might be better off with my 2.5 horsepower for fishing, unless I can get this thing to idle down a lot more to slow it down. But pretty smooth. It'll work. Just gonna take some time to get used to it. All right, I'm gonna take this back, do some more practice loading, and hit the other boat launch. All right, so now I'm gonna stop here. I gotta make sure I could deploy these wheels without dropping them overboard. That would be bad. Deploy, deploy. This one. See, this would be very difficult with the balloon tires. All right, they're in. Wish I had a way to lock them in here. That's all right. Wheels are deployed. Yeah, that would be bad if these things fall off while I'm even in the just here. I'd have to be swimming, and that wouldn't be good. Let's get used to stand paddling. Yeah, this thing is not going to be good in the wind. It's going to get blown all over, and then the only way to adjust is using the paddle. That's not going to be good. It's okay today because it's dead. There's no wind, no current, but when it does, I have a feeling this thing is going to be a bitch to get turned. Ooh, make sure the wheels didn't fall out. I guess when I'm moving, that pressure will keep them in. It's when I stop, and then if there's any waves that bounce it, it'll vibrate it off. Ooh, I thought I saw a sheep's head. Is there a sheep's head? Pretty sure I saw a sheep's head down there. Oh, those snappers. All right, not bad. Let's see about mounting this thing. All right, at the launch. Oh, let me get my neck strap, my body dragger. This is where it'll really come in handy. There. Over the shoulder. And we're walking. Not super easy, but not bad. This body dragger could use a padded shoulder. Oh, there goes the paddle. A lot of vibrations with this hard wheels. No farther. There it goes. Alright, won't need that anymore. And there. Box that up. Got to make sure everything's tied down because it's a bouncy ride. I could use the winch, but because I have this carpeting, it slides pretty easy. I just need to get it up to the wheels. There, it's on the teeter-tottering. Lift it the rest of the way and slide it. About there. See, it was almost coming out. Yeah, that's an issue. Got to work on that. Yeah, definitely, if I'm leaving the islands or getting on any freeway, these legs are definitely coming off. There. And bumped up right to the edge. I'm going to do something with this, maybe go to an eye bolt so I have something actually sturdy to clip onto. Put a little tension on it. Safety chain. It's on it. Just need my keys. Got my little box for the straps, so they're all in one place. I guess I can go ahead and load this stuff to get it out of the way. I'm gonna go to the other launch, so I'll switch out the wheels. And I'll see if the rubber wheels will work better. In that they're skinnier and then they're rubber, so it's got a shock absorber effect. Man, I don't know if I should leave that motor on there or not. Not going very far. It's only a couple miles, but I am getting on US 1. Well, I guess I'll take it off. Yeah, I'll take it off. What the hell? Yeah, putting the outboard with the prop in first makes it no problem. Oh, that's the answer right there. Nice. All right, ready to go. Not bad. All right, we're out of here. I'm gonna fix these chains. They're a little bit low. I'm just gonna twist them a bit. There we go. All right, next boat ramp. All right, we're at our next boat launch. We're gonna try here the, I think, 53rd Street boat ramp. So let's get in there and find a spot. All right, this is our dilemma. Usually I park over here because there's a little ramp, step down ramp. But when I use my kayak, because I would go down to the ramp, my base kayak and outrigger, no stuff, paddle over here, and then I would load my stuff. But since we're just wheeling down, I might try to find a spot a little bit farther up. Might be able to squeeze in there, or did we do a dick park? Nope, they were good. All right, I'll squeeze right in here between the big trucks. Nice. All right, I don't know if you can see it. There's the boat ramp over there with the walkout pier there, and then those steps all the way in the corner are where you could boat up against it, drop off the person with the truck. They can get their truck and then drive over to where the launch is, and someone with the boat could take it over there. But we're just gonna walk it over there. Now this is where these little wheels are gonna come in. They're rubber, so it's got a little bit of a not hard plastic to hard ground, and plus they're skinnier. I'm just on road, so it's not like I'm gonna be overlanding anything rough, versus this just has this little rubber strip, plus it's wider, but I don't need wide, so we'll try those out. Hassle factor when this is up, it gets in the way. So I guess I gotta turn it sideways and it clears, but hassle. So I got that much room. I might be able to slide it back, maybe, and then it'll be out of the way. So hassle factor reduction option. All right, so the system I think is I run it back far enough that I could put the wheels down, then I put the motor on. I'm really freaking out about these things coming off. I got to come out with a way to lock them in, both on the down and the up. They came out too easy. All right, now I put the outboard on, load it up, and then go from there. The good thing is I think I got figured out the lifting the motor in and out of the car and just getting on here is not very bad, so it's livable. I do have an issue with clamping this to this plastic, so I might put some aluminum plates on there to protect it. You can see it already scratched it there, so there, I don't know if that was me or that was there before or whatnot, but I don't like that. All right, otherwise we're good. I don't like this bungee cord holding the this down, and then that there's no way that this just comes right off. It's not attached in any way, so that's something I need to work on. This I like. This is very good. Give that a thumbs up. All right, now we got to take the walk all the way to the boat launch, but I got the old body dragger. That should make things a little bit easier. The body dragger 5000. Why is this thing leaning? What is happening? Oh, there, it sat down. Something wasn't right. And off we go. Doesn't exactly roll super easy. It almost feels like those tires are flat, except they're solid. I don't know for this thing. It's free for locals, but I don't know if we're supposed to register or not. But if they check my plates, I'm local, so I wouldn't have to pay. I just wouldn't have registered. Oh, this is gonna suck coming back up. I wonder if those hard wheels are actually better. And we're gonna have to back down into this sludge, and look how steep it is. That can be a problem. Jesus, that's a workout. Oh, come on, baby. Then when I go down, I want to take the strap off just in case it goes out of control or I slip and fall. I got to make sure that that gets over that grass without breaking anything. Oh, get through it, baby. Yeah. Success. All right, not super easy, but not too bad. Getting up this, up that, and then over to the car is a little different, but if it's not very busy, I could drive the car over here and load it up. So, but I want to try the other wheels for this long distance travel there. All right, make sure I don't slip and fall. Put this guy away. All right, we gotta get these wheels up. Nice and easy. Get the other side. Make sure I put the strap on, because I do not want to lose one of these. That's what I'm freaking out about, losing one of them. Yeah, with these, because they're solid, it's not very difficult to reinstall it on the water. And then here to here, there. And I want a C-clip that totally locks on here, so this could still fall off. If this happened to fall off, it could come off of this and then it's gone. But if I have a C-clip at the end, even if it fell off, I'd just drag it. So all right, let's go do some laps. Ooh, that's going to be a problem. Trying to pull it over that stuff there. I might have to dig a trench. All right, let's fire up the motor and put a little bit of mileage on this thing and play with it a bit. Very happy with the outboard. Fires right up. Let's get on out of here. Now this is the aspect where this thing has to pay off, and that's the getting from point A to point B where I'm going to be fishing. with some speed to it. But it runs smooth in this light stuff, so that's good. It's still, I gotta get used to how floppy it is. Just by your weight distribution can make a big difference. But it's pretty stable. I got sea legs, so it's not bad. Whoa! Yeah, this reaching back is not good. It's hard to make it, well, I'm just not used to it. This is my first day using it, but reaching back and trying to steer and work the throttle is not good. And when you're at higher speed and this thing's a little bit tippy and you make a wrong micro adjustment, I think that could end badly. Because if you turn too fast, you're off of this thing. Because I'm just sitting on top, I'm high centered, there ain't nothing to hold on to, so you're going over. So I definitely need to have the emergency off lanyard set up, so when I go over, the motor shuts off. But otherwise, I'm getting used to it pretty quickly. Well, standing with the motor on is going to be difficult because there's no way to steer it. So I want to go along the edge there, but I can't do that. Once I sit down, so my adjustment is get up current, upwind. I need that tiller extension. Just get up current, upwind of my target area. Shut this off, and then, which legitimate you should do when you're not, if you're not prospecting, whatever, is then just stand, paddle, and work my way down. So we're gonna try that a little bit, get used to this stuff. I need to get rid of this. I can't have this anchor in there. I hate those bungees. I mean, really not liking that. I need to put some sort of latch on there, maybe have it so it's latched up front and then tied off with a clamp or bungee or something, hook on this side, so I can just lift it up, put stuff in there and drop it down. Because for me to put that in there, I gotta pop that side off, pop that side off, unthread it to make there's enough room to remove the hatch cover. And then if you're in rocky water, that hatch cover is not attached, it could fall right off. So that's why I'm not using it. But this has to go because you got to have walkway room, and there's zero chance that I'm going to use these rod holders and have my rods right here, because then this is where you stand and put your legs, and then water would come there. So that's not really going to be useful. Not a big deal, because I want to have it set up like my kayak and have them vertical in my back left, so they're out of the way because I cast right. All right, so if I'm working this zone, normally with my kayak I could throttle down the motor, stand, let the motor push me, and then use my foot to use the rudder to keep me angled. But it's just a different way of having to do it. And then the benefit is I could stand on this and see really, really good. This is huge, and that's why it's in the right conditions for this movement stuff, where I got to cover a long section. This is short, so, and if I knew this was a really productive area, I would be doing this anyway, so it's not that. But if I'm covering a whole long stretch and I'm just prospecting looking for fish, having the motor on and just going And even if I scare stuff up, that's good, because I just want to see what's around. And then I could still have my rod in hand in case I run into anything, and then I just reach next to me and just turn the throttle down. It kills the motor. So that type of efficiency, yeah, the Kayak's better. But yeah, this is an extra foot high is golden, man. I can see really well. So if I'm targeting these sand spots here and I know fish are around and they're attracted to that area, then this is great. If I go anchor up and then I just wait for them to show up, I stand here, I'm not moving, I'm just looking at that spot waiting for those fish, it's great because I got that extra height. I don't have to, I'm not moving. That's where this comes into play. My kayak, I could do the same thing, but I have the foot advantage. And one benefit of this thing is I'm learning here, is I'm very surprised about, is it tracks really nicely going forward. Even though I have this slight cross breeze, because it's heavier and it actually sits in the water, it's not getting pushed. On my kayak, I would be turned because the wind would push me to the aerodynamic direction. So my back would generally be pointing towards into the wind, or my front or my back would be pointing into the wind. So I would be pushed this direction and then drifting sideways there. I'd have to do a lot of paddling or motoring to keep straight, but this, even with that crosswind, is not getting turned. So that's very good. Now I'll come out here in some little windier conditions to see, but that alleviates some of the issues I thought I would have, in that I couldn't control this front and I would be constantly go left, go right, go right. So that's a positive. Another big positive on this platform, it's very stable. I mean, we're not in exactly real rough waters, but on my kayak, I would be, because I sit literally on top of the water on the kayak, it floats on top like a bobber. So even these little waves, they cause a disruption. I could feel it. I have the outrigger, so I'm super wide, so it doesn't affect me very much, but still super stable up here. And I'm getting a little bit used to the sea legs here, so my body's adjusting to it when there is variations. But otherwise, when you have the paddle in the water, so you have your third leg, I mean, it is just rock solid. So that's good. Love that visibility. Well, I figured something out. You sit sideways and you have better reach of the controls versus sitting in the front and your legs and everything's facing forward. Sit sideways and then it's not so bad. So that's much more comfortable. I'm still right-hand dominant, so I'd prefer to have it on my other side, but yeah, this is a lot better. But I think still having that tiller handle is the way to go. I would rather be sitting facing forward and staying exactly center balanced. All right, I'm just gonna work this cove here. You got this little point. This is where having a sissy bar right here might be helpful. So just getting on this platform, I gotta get rid of this damn thing. I gotta fix that. Is getting up is the only kind of little bit of sketchiness, but once you're up here, you're solid as a rock. All right, so let's work this corner, see if there's anything sitting around here. Man, I see so much. Holy crap, how'd I miss that thing? It's a sea monster. Just chilling for the winter. Now it's spring, time to go home. Damn tourists. There's always stuff hanging out at the points. I was expecting tarpon, but big old sea monster doesn't hurt. So this would be the example where now the 2.5 horsepower, and this was actually what I was thinking when I was coming over here, is I might run my 2.5 horsepower outboard for when I'm doing this stuff, where I'm close to the launch, like the 7-mile bridge, where I'm not going very far. I don't need the 6 horsepower. I can mount the 2.5 on here, and I could do my normal stuff because I could idle down a lot slower and do my prospecting stuff. So like here, I could fire up, although I can't steer, which would make it tougher, and I can go a lot slower and just follow this whole edge. That's where the kayak comes in. I have that slow abilities plus the ability to steer, and I could follow this edge. I'm just looking for fish to kick out. Once they kick out, they don't go anywhere unless I really spook them. And then I know where they are, and I can just go around and then come back, and then by that time they're back at ease again. So that is an option, running the 2.5 horsepower on this thing sometimes. The benefit for me is that I know all the spots, I know where I want to go, I know what the conditions are going to be, so I don't have to, I'm not guessing, and I could know 6 horsepower or 2.5 horsepower is going to benefit. Yeah, see, this takes a lot of time to paddle or push. Yeah, I take my whole day just to get all the way down to that point there, and I want to cover this point, the next point, go around that other edge, do that whole basin on the other side, and I could do that with the outboard running, but here I can't really do that. I could run it, but then I can't be up here and following this round edge right along the edge line here. Part of what I wanted to do today was to, well, it's not bad. I need to come out here on a shallow day or shallow tide level so I could push pull around, because I want to find out if this is going to be long enough or if I have to do a longer one for this, for standing up here and then push pulling. Because my general rule is to have 2.5 to 3 pushes. So that's there. Then you would have 1, 2, or that's 1, and then that would be 2, and then 3 for push pull. But I need this to be at least deep enough. So it's not bad, and this is freaking 3 feet at the moment on the flats. But I just need to come out here. Plus I want to find out how shallow I can go with the motor down and then the motor up, and see what I can get into. I need to also get this thing stuck to see if I could pull it out, pull it over flats where it's really shallow. That's going to be a big difference between 200 pounds and 120 pounds on my kayak. All right, my battery is dying. My spare battery, apparently I didn't charge after last trip. That thing is pissing me off because I should have my stuff in there, but I'm using that one because the latch is easier to use and I have to reach over there to grab it. Then I have both boxes are blue, so I can't really tell which box I'm grabbing because I have my emergency box and then I grab the wrong one, and just hassle factor. So I can't really film anything, but that's okay. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the motor around, put some miles on it, and then head back to the launch, run it all the way back to the car just to get it kind of used to doing that. I might cheat and bring the car over. It depends on if there's any boats at the boat launch. Maybe I'll just get the kayak, the Solo Skiff up to the top of the ramp, walk over, grab my car, bring it closer, load it, and then go from there. But all right, so that is it. I'll give you a final wrap up for the day at home when I can charge up and get some batteries. All right, we're back. Got a fresh battery. Everything worked out great. The launch, getting that those wheels through that buildup of seaweed along the bottom was not good. And I don't think those wheels are good for anything. I think that solid is better. This has so much kind of flex to it. I think that wider footprint is better. So I'm going to try those wide hard plastic ones again on a steep launch. That launch there, the one on 7 Mile, is pretty steep, and then having that build up and trying to get through it with these wheels was tough. I had to really wrestle it through. The steep part, not horrible, but it was still bad, but it's just going to be the way it is. That's with including the motor on it. Without the motor, it's probably going to be quite a bit easier. But other than that, I need 100%. First thing I'm going to work on is this, because I need something that clips on and really holds these two together, so there's very little play there. I wish there was some sort of tabs or something that I could run it to here to lock it in for sure right here, because that's where the issue is, but there's just nothing on these. I don't want to drill these because it'll create a weak point. Maybe can weld it, but stainless steel stuff, so I don't know. I'm gonna try just binding these up and then we'll go from there. The loading part, no issues. It was just those wheels I think that were an issue. Everything else solid, perfect, no issues. That's a little bit, but then I figured out I could just turn it sideways and then it works fine. So I might not even scoot it back. I don't know. I could just 4 bolts and scoot it back, and that'll resolve that totally. Straps are good. Having the eye rings, tons better. Carpet slides right on, no problem. I do want to do a better mounting point, because the only thing it's holding it on is this rope and this handle. So might do something to make something a little bit more stable there. Like I said, running an eye bolt or maybe a dual eye bolt might work out better there, but it doesn't have to hold on a ton, and those straps will really lock it in. Outside of that, it's all good. I'm going to do one more run tomorrow, so I'm just going to leave it hooked up, and I'm going to go probably to the 7 Mile bridge, and then if I feel like it, I might run out to Big Pine and do a launch out there. Again, it's just testing this, doing a little bit on the water stuff, but mainly getting from my house to the water, and then from the water to my house is the primary for the next few videos. There's one more boat launch in Marathon that's on the west side of Marathon. That's just kind of busy, and then parking can sometimes be a little bit flip of a coin. There's another one on the bridges just before you get to Big Pine, but I really don't use that one because there's only a couple of actual trailer parkings, and then the rest of it is just kind of a free-for-all, park where you can along the freeway and stuff. And then there's a couple of Big Pine ones I might try, but other than that, very happy with it. Some good things about this, some not so good things about on the water stuff for the fishing part, but we'll get into that once I put a rod on it. But otherwise, there we go. All right, so that is getting it from home to the water, water to home, plus a little bit of on the water kind of testing, and very happy with today's productivity. So learned a lot, and the things that I did and things that I thought were right, so that's good. But only thing you can do is more experience. That's the most important thing. So I'll be on the water tomorrow with it. So yeah, see you next video. Bye. This is why you want to store your Solo Skiff with the nose up. What'll happen is that's water pulls here, and then it's going to get through this seal and it's going to get inside the hull. So that would be the issue with that. So I'm going to take off these straps, loosen these straps, and then jack it up so I can drain that water. That kind of sucks.